Hey guys, I'm back. This is gonna have to be a part two. So, my life gets a little chaotic and crazy, so I literally just have to stop on a drop of a dime. I literally don't mean to jump away and come back, but I'm gonna literally jump right back into this energy. So, there's certain individuals who have had the world in their hands and they have continued to take action. Um, or they have chosen not to take action with this indecision, lack of progress. It's like their indecision has led to your lack of progress, failed partnerships, and lack of confidence. Like I said in the last video, that the world is yours, it says, but first you must decide which path to take. You have to realize and understand when your energy is being held back and held up because of someone else. Someone who is indecisive about you and the long term vision and plan that you have for the future. The people who are unable to jump on to jump on board with your plan. Um because it's like you have this gift of manifestation and creativity. You have a certain skill of confidence that when you gain a certain vision, you end up creating the winning side. No matter what life throws at you, it's like you have this resilience, this determination, this perseverance, courage and strength, okay? It said you have been through a lot and have come out stronger on the other side. You are literally the leader of the winning side, okay? And you know what? The people who have not believed in the fact that you are making all the right decisions, okay? People who have looked at you crazy for making certain decisions that you've made, and it's turned out that the decisions that you have made are the right decisions that needed to be made. That you have stepped into some type of leadership role in order to assume responsibility and be led by the universe. It's like you have passed some sort of test by the challenges that you have overcome. Because it's saying right here, what challenges have you overcome? It's about recovering your self esteem and the fact that those who didn't choose you was not a reflection on you. It's a reflection of their own insecurity, their own lack of confidence, their self doubt. It's like people turning their backs on you have led you to feeling as if you weren't enough. You wondered why you got ghosted. You get what I mean? Why people keep coming at you in this devil energy. And it's because you have been in the process of achieving certain goals, okay? And it's like the enemy, dark energy has been approaching you, trying to hold you captive to this like bondage full of materialism and addiction and temptation, okay? And it doesn't have to be, a drugs. We don't want to say that word, but drugs. It doesn't have to be an actual like addiction to a chemical substance, okay? It could be being attached to certain toxic relationships, people who have an energy of trickery, deception, manipulation that create self-doubt within you. People who come around and make you second guess yourself and your abilities to make decisions for your life in order to move your chariot forward. People who, drain your energy, okay? People who are just simply you being in a lustful energy and people taking advantage of your kind heart and you just simply allowing them to do that, okay? Because when you connect to the wrong energy, It creates a lack of inspiration within you. It blocks your creativity. It creates frustration. And really, you're allowing others to misuse their power in your life. Okay? That is a temptation. That is an addiction. Because it goes back to the, narcissistic, empathic paradigm. Okay? That usually most empaths are, God's chosen individuals, those who feel things very deeply, okay? The ability to feel very deeply. So it says like you've dealt with a lot of like emotional immaturity in others, and it's like you've continued to tolerate wrongful behavior. You've continued to allow people to gaslight you, people to tell you one thing and do another. You're paying attention to people's words versus actually paying attention to the action. But it's caused you to have a lack of direction and a creative block. Okay? These are people who are resistant to change. This is creating delay within you, indecision within you. It's even causing you to be stubborn toward your own path, North Node, destiny. Your higher path, okay? Because we have this hangman in the reverse. It's in the reversed. This is the upright. But it's like you have been sacrificed, but also have been sacrificing yourself. And it's saying here, though, like, what sacrifices are you willing to make for a higher purpose? And this right here is literally the very, very bottom, like the core of all these readings. I've been digging and digging and digging to try to get to. This is the main point that the universe is speaking to us about right now, and it's clarified with the death. What are you willing to let go of? What sacrifices are you willing to make in order to pursue your higher purpose? There are certain energies and certain relationships that you have to put a death to. What endings are necessary for new beginnings? Like, these cards have writing on them, right? And we have here with the sacrifice card, what sacrifices are you willing to make for a higher purpose? That's deep right there. You can sit there and chew on that for a while, okay? And then right after that is what endings are necessary for new beginnings? You have endings, transformation, change, and rebirth. And then this card also, the answer is no. What things do you have to say no to? It could be a relationship, a person, a situation. It could be wearing a mask or allowing others to wear a mask around you. It's like multiple silent pauses. Like, really sit there with yourself and think about that. The only way that you can honestly come up with these answers is to sit still and really think about this, because this is your future. This is a matter of you actually taking things to the highest level energetically in order to fulfill your purpose and fulfill your destiny. But in order to do that, you have to be weightless. You can't be weighed down with any type of spiritual darkness or baggage, okay? So you have to choose wisely. You have to think about, these addictions when it comes to overgiving, when it comes to allowing yourself to be, to reach your limit constantly, allowing yourself constantly to become overwhelmed and reaching a breaking point and reaching a final straw. Like, that is a cycle. You have to catch yourself before you get there. It's learning how to notice those like red flags early versus waiting so long. This is acceptance of loss, avoiding conflict, letting go of grudges, being humble, and seeking peace. Think about that for a second. It literally says sometimes you have to accept the loss. Sometimes you have to just avoid the conflict because there's no reason to have conflict in a situation that you're not going to win. Are you going to actually win this battle? Is it anything worth fighting for? Is it anything worth having an argument over? Is there any more points to really prove? Is there any way of getting through in a situation? Right here is saying letting go of grudges. When you're ready to move forward, you have to accept the loss, avoid the conflict, let go of the grudges. Not to rekindle or reconcile, but to be free, to be weightless. Because when you wash your hands of a situation, you just wash your hands. But being humble and seeking peace is getting in the face of God, being humble to God and telling Him how broken you are because of all these past situations and how much they've really let you down. Because there's been a lack of action on the other party's part. Impulsiveness, recklessness, lack of passion, taking unnecessary risks. People coming in hot but fizzling out just as fast. Getting your hopes up for some type of transformational, ongoing future long-term plan. It's right there. But it says, what actions can you take to move you closer to your goals? And this is one thing that not a lot of people like to hear. Some people do. But this path requires you to be the authority. It requires you to gain some structure, the stability, and to step into leadership. And when you're a leader, you're going to piss some people off. You're going to require boundaries. You're going to have to learn how to use the word no in a situation. I'll be right back.